Namaskar, a warm welcome to World News, an Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Navanita Adhikari bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring to you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment and more. The headlines. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to attend National Panchayati Raj Day celebrations at Rewa in Madhya Pradesh on Monday, to also lay foundation stone and dedicate to nation projects worth 17,000 crore rupees. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says strong sense of caution is required to protect hard-earned money from Ponzi apps. New Delhi says it is making all-out efforts to ensure safety and security of Indian nationals stranded in conflict-hit Sudan. Asia-Pacific Leaders Conclave on Malaria Elimination to be organized in New Delhi on Monday. In Russia, more than 3,000 people evacuated from their homes in the city of Belgorod after an undetonated explosive was found. And in Archery World Cup Stage 1, India ends campaign with 2 golds, a silver and a bronze medals at Turkey Antalya. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu on Monday and on Tuesday. On Monday morning, he will attend a program marking National Panchayati Raj Day in Rewa, Madhya Pradesh, where he will lay the foundation stone and dedicate it to the nation projects worth around 17,000 crore rupees. Later in the day, he will visit Kochi and will address the Yuvam 2023 conclave organized by the Bharatiya Janata Party. On Tuesday, the Prime Minister will flag off Kerala's first Vande Bharat Express between Thiruvananthapuram and Kasargod at Thiruvananthapuram Central Station. The train will cover 11 districts. He will also lay the foundation stone and dedicate to the nation development projects worth more than 3,200 crore rupees at Central Stadium, Thiruvananthapuram. On Tuesday evening, the Prime Minister will visit and dedicate Namo Medical Education and Research Institute in Silvassa, the foundation stone of which was also laid by him in January 2019. It will bring transformation in healthcare services for the citizens of the Union Territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. He will lay the foundation stone and dedicate to the nation various development projects worth more than 4,850 crore rupees at Silvassa, Dadra and Nagar Haveli. The Prime Minister will also inaugurate the Devka seafront at Daman. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said due to the right approach of the government, condition of Indian economy is better than any other country. Ms. Sitharaman was speaking at an event, Interaction with Intellectual, organized by Thinkers Forum in Bengaluru. She said the global community has appreciated India on its successful steering through the COVID pandemic and situation created globally by Russia-Ukraine conflict. Speaking on economic impact of COVID-19, the Finance Minister said the methods adopted by Western countries during pandemic caused stress economy.
It may be a war happening in Europe, but it had global repercussions. And with all this, because of the sanctions and because of the various global developments and the COVID, Western economies, which took a certain formula for dealing with the stressed economy situation. And that method has now proven hurtful of their economies as an after effect.
The Finance Minister said their formula to deal with the COVID situation, like printing more currency and distribute it among people, has now proven hurtful of their economy. She said government is working with RBI and Concern Ministry to clamp down on Ponzi apps. Strong sense of caution is required among people in order to protect their hard-earned money. Talking on regulation of digital or cryptocurrency, the minister said all countries are required to be on board to control it, or else efforts will not be effective. On economic reforms in India, she said a lot of measures are being taken to widen the tax base. New Delhi said the government is making all-out efforts to ensure safety and security of Indian nationals stranded in conflict-hit Sudan. In a statement, the Ministry of External Affairs said it is closely monitoring the complex and evolving security situation in Sudan. The ministry is coordinating closely with various partners for the safe movement of those Indians who are stranded in Sudan and would like to be evacuated. Apart from the Sudanese authorities, the Ministry of External Affairs and the Indian Embassy in Sudan are also in regular touch with the United Nations, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Egypt and US, among others. Several countries have evacuated diplomats and citizens from Sudan's capital as fierce fighting continues to rage in Khartoum. The External Affairs Ministry said as part of its preparations and in order to move swiftly, the Government of India is pursuing multiple options. Two Indian Air Force C-130J are currently positioned on standby in Jeddah, and INS Sumedha has also reached Port Sudan. The ministry added that contingency plans are in place, but any movement on the ground would depend on the security situation, which continues to be volatile with reports of fierce fighting at various locations in Khartoum. It said Sudanese airspace currently remains closed for all foreign aircraft and overland movement also has risks and logistical challenges. The ministry said that its embassy is in regular touch with the stranded Indians in Sudan as advising them on the viability of safe movement and the need to avoid unnecessary risk. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has addressed the India-Guyana Business Roundtable, highlighting the increasing engagement between India and Latin America. In a tweet, Dr. Jaishankar emphasized the enormous potential for growth and new possibilities in the partnership between India and Guyana, citing the growth rate of both countries. He also highlighted the new focus areas agreed upon by Guyanese President Ali and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which include energy, health and pharma, development partnership and capacity building, agriculture, innovation, technology, defense and infrastructure. The minister noted that these sectors would be the key drivers of the bilateral ties between the two nations. He emphasized that strong economics would complement shared values in taking the partnership to a new level. Dr. Jaishankar is on a 3-day visit to Guyana from the 21st to the 23rd of this month. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry will organize the Asia-Pacific Leaders Conclave on Malaria Elimination in New Delhi on Monday. The conclave will provide a platform for leaders from the Asia-Pacific region to discuss ongoing efforts towards malaria elimination. The ministry said the conclave aims to reaffirm political commitment to galvanize action for malaria elimination by 2030. India has made remarkable progress towards malaria elimination in recent years and has been appreciated at the global level. Among the 11 countries that are part of the World Health Organization's High Burden to High Impact initiative, only India has reported a decline in malaria cases during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. The ministry said malaria cases have dropped by over 85% and deaths also dropped over by 83% from 2015 to 2022. India's Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan inaugurated an exhibition at Bhubaneswar in Odisha on Sunday, showcasing the future of work and the need for new skills in a fast-evolving world. Addressing the gathering, the minister said, the new education policy NEP fulfills the global aspirations of youth.
India is a knowledge society. In the 21st century, there is a unanimous in the entire human civilization. 21st century is going to be a knowledge-based century, and India is going to lead role on that. And fortunately, we all are implementing NEP. NEP has a mandate and responsibility to look into the global aspiration.
The exhibition, held on the sidelines of the 3rd Education Working Group meeting under the G20 presidency, features technology leaders and academia displaying their perspectives and vision for the future of work. With over 100 exhibitors from India and G20 member countries, The exhibition includes a Future of Work Experience Zone, where visitors can preview advanced technical skills and witness cutting-edge technologies transforming various sectors of work, such as automation, digitization, and Industry 4.0 skills. The initiative was taken on the sidelines of the 3rd Education Working Group meeting under the G20 presidency at CSIR Institute of Minerals and Materials Technology, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. The exhibition will continue till the 28th of April. Several institutes and organizations from diverse sectors including NIT, Rourkela, IIT Bhubaneswar, IIM Sambalpur, Meta, UNICEF and NCRT participated in the exhibition to display technologies that would drive the future of work, constant innovations in modern workspace, skills and innovative delivery models. The Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and the Ministry of Education are also hosting precursor events in the first 2 days of the event. In today's Hotspot section, we bring you a discussion on settling interstate border disputes in Northeast for a brighter further. In conversation are political analyst Subimal Bhattacharjee and AIR correspondent Sonu Sood.
During the last 4 years, the government under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi has signed several agreements to end insurgency and bring lasting peace to the northeastern states. A historic border agreement was signed between Assam and Arunachal Pradesh this week on April 20. Last month on March 29, a border agreement was signed between Assam and Meghalaya. To discuss this proactive and concerted effort by the government to settle long-standing interstate border disputes to end insurgency in the northeast, we have with us Mr. Subimal Bhattacharjee, political analyst. Sir, a warm welcome to you from All India Radio.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Sir, to begin the discussion, can you tell us about the key agreements and accords involving the northeastern states in the last 4 years? And what is the significance of the peace efforts by the government picking up pace for the overall development of the economy in this region?
See, ever since Prime Minister Modi has taken office, there has been a special focus on Northeast. And that focus entailed building on the infrastructure, improving the existing infrastructure, trying to solve existing political as well as ethnic issues, and also, try and see how to bring Northeast to the mainstream. There was a sense of alienation. So with that attitude, the government has been working. And ever since Amit Shah took over as the Home Minister, he very proactively took upon the role to improve the engagement with Northeast in a far much more comprehensive manner. So as a strategy, 3 things were looked at. First one was to give respect and credence and bring a lot of that to the national mainstream. The cultural traits, the ethnic characteristic, the dresses, the food habits, all of that, from the different tribes and communities from the Northeast to the rest of the country. The second was to solve the existing issues of, security in the region so that, there is stability. And the third was to see that development impetus in the region. So there has been marked changes that have been seen in all of these areas. And as you have, put in the question, agreements, so the few agreements in the last few years that have been signed that have ensured lasting peace in many states of the region are, beginning with the NLFT agreement in Tripura in 2019, to the Brew agreement again in Tripura in 2020, the Bodo Accord of 2020, the Karbi agreement of 2021, Tribal Peace Accord in 2022. And along with that, the Home Minister also focused to see that, the interstate boundary disputes that are also taken up. So the Assam-Meghalaya interstate boundary agreement happened last year, and just 3 days back, the Assam-Arunachal Pradesh interstate boundary agreement, an MOU was signed between the two chief ministers, but it had its origin to an agreement signed in 2022. So the approach and attitude has been to address all these issues. And parallelly at the same time, an issue of contention that is to remain, the Armed Force Special Power Act which basically applied to the disturbed areas. Now, there were concerns from most of the states, to remove that. So, in the last few years, a significant improvement in law and order and security situation led the government to take steps on that. So, as a result of which, today in Assam, 70% of the area is now free from the Armed Force Special Power Act. In Manipur, Armed Force Special Power Act has been removed from 15 police stations in 6 districts. In Arunachal Pradesh, only 3 districts and 1 district with 2 police stations are left under the ambit of the Act. In Nagaland, Armed Force Special Power Act has been removed from 15 police stations in 7 districts. And in Tripura and Meghalaya, it has been completely withdrawn. The intent, as the Home Minister has explained a few times, has been to take provisions of the Act away from the whole region, and this is being done gradually. So all of these efforts that have been seen in the last 4 years have really brought in, significant changes in the way the center approached the region, and that sense of alienation, that sense of distance that was always pervading, that has been reduced significantly, to that end that today, violence in the region has been at its lowest in the last 4 years.
So you feel, sir, that this improvement in the security situation, as you said, that since 2014, if we see in 2020, the figures that we have, insurgency incidents have come down 80%. Number of casualties in security forces have come down by 75%. Civilian casualties have come down by 99%. You feel that investors and industry is likely to be enthused by these conflict resolution efforts, and the economies of these states will also get a boost?
Definitely. I think, that is happening. The perception that the northeastern region was a disturbed region, that has been dispelled significantly because of the continuity of peace situations, the improvement in law and order across the region, the attitude with which, many of the long-standing disputes have been solved, the focus on getting infrastructure done. The government has invested significantly in the last few years on almost all the areas of, infrastructure, whether it is road, whether it is air, whether it is railways, and even telecom and internet connectivity. So the ground has been laid for investments and industry to come and explore. And as you know, the Northeast has really not been a manufacturing hub, but it has a significant potential for tourism as well as for the service industry. Tourism has significantly improved in the region, almost all across the 7 states as well as Sikkim. And the infrastructure around tourism, where even the focus on ecotourism and local people are making available homestay avenues and all that, have also come up quite well. So I think these are absolutely motivators for a lot of investors to come in and explore the region from many perspectives, whether it's the tourism perspective, whether it's the small and medium industries perspective, whether it is looking at the natural resources as well as the fruits and flowers, the opportunities to do business with them. Those all avenues, going from agriculture to tourism, I think gets a boost, and we are already seeing that happening.
Sir, as you mentioned that a lot of specialized efforts have been made by the government for the development of the Northeast sector. A new scheme, PM Development Initiative for the Northeast, PM Divine, was announced in 2022-23 budget. Centre has approved 2,605 4G mobile towers to provide connectivity to more than 3,721 villages in Arunachal Pradesh. In fact, yesterday only, Union Communications Minister Ashwini Vaishnav dedicated 254 4G mobile towers in Arunachal Pradesh. So you feel that all these efforts at development will have multi-pronged effect in development in the burgeoning of startups. As you said, service industry is one of the most important industries, not only for Northeast but for the entire India.
Yeah, definitely. I think the communication boost up, as was done yesterday, is just the first tranche. By 31st March next year, almost all of the Arunachal Pradesh state would be having 4G towers. You mentioned 2,605 towers, so we will have that. So automatically the connectivity improves. See, the whole idea of going to the last village, and the government and the Prime Minister mentions it as the first village. And if you have noted on the 10th of April, the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, actually went and spent the night at Kiputu village in Arunachal Pradesh, So I think the whole idea of connectivity to all the states in the region, particularly to the international border, is a significant move because very many times, signals, mobile signals from the other side of the border were coming and inundating the regions in our border, and it was causing a lot of concerns among the dwellers on our side, the Indian citizens. So right now, apart from giving them connectivity, the possibility of expanding and exploring further areas of the service industry is there. For example, even if you look at the BPO industry, the business process outsourcing, that India has done very well for a lot of global clients. A lot of the human resources employed in this industry in different parts of the country, in the metro cities, are actually people from the Northeast region. With quality connectivity to the BPOs can be set up in the region. So these young brothers and sisters of Northeast actually don't need to go out and spend a lot in living in the metro. They could stay at home, be with their families, and be doing their same job. So the prospects of such opportunities are today possible because the focus on connectivity has been there.
Sir, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
This is All India Radio giving you the world news. In a joint operation of Punjab Police and Intelligence Wing, pro-Khalistan preacher and Waris Punjab Day Chief Amritpal Singh, who was on the run for a month now, was arrested from Road Village in Moga district of Punjab on Sunday. Giving more details, Inspector General of Police Sukhchand Singh said National Security Act warrants have been issued against him. Almost a month ago, Punjab Police issued a lookout circular and non-bailable warrant against Amritpal Singh. He had been on the run since Punjab Police had launched a manhunt to arrest him and his close aides. During this operation, many of his close aides were arrested. In Russia, more than 3,000 people have been evacuated from their homes in the city of Belgorod after an undetonated explosive was found. It comes 2 days after Russia accidentally dropped a bomb on the same city, damaging houses and injuring several people. The city is located about 40 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. The local governor, Vyacheslav Dikhlatkov, confirmed that 17 apartment buildings had to be cordoned within a radius of 200 meters, affecting 3,000 residents. The undetonated device was found in the same area as the bomb that was accidentally dropped on Thursday evening, leaving a huge crater about 20 meters wide too close to the center. The governor, however, later informed that people were starting to return to their homes after a shell had been removed. Russia has announced that it was expelling 20 German diplomats, as Berlin said some Russian diplomats had left Germany. A German foreign ministry official said Berlin and Moscow had been in contact about their respective representations in the last few weeks with the aim of reducing Russia's intelligence presence in Germany. Commenting on Germany's expulsions, the Russian Foreign Ministry said Russia strongly condemns these actions by Berlin, which continues to demonstratively destroy the entire array of Russian-German relations. In a statement, it said the German authorities have decided on another mass expulsion of employees of Russian diplomatic missions in Germany. Meanwhile, a German Foreign Ministry official said Berlin and Moscow had been in contact about their respective representations in the last few weeks. Relations between Russia and Germany, which used to be the biggest buyer of Russian oil and gas, have fallen apart since Moscow sent its armed forces into Ukraine in February 2022, and the West responded with sanctions and with weapons for Ukraine. 2 earthquakes measuring nearly magnitude 6 struck Kepulauan Batu, Indonesia in the wee hours on Sunday. According to the European Mediterranean Seismological Center, the first earthquake pegged by EMSC at a magnitude 6.1 struck Kepulauan Batu, followed by another 5.8 magnitude quake just hours later. The construction work of the rail line connecting Agartala with Akharu in Bangladesh will be completed by September, said Tripura Food, Transport and Tourism Minister Sushant Chaudhary in Agartala. He said that the physical work on the 12.5 kilometers long rail line on the Indian side is 85% complete, while 73% of physical work on the rail line on the Bangladesh side has been completed. Minister for Development of North Eastern Region G. Kishan Reddy visited Tripura on the 11th of April to inspect the Agartala-Akhora new rail link project. He held meetings with the officials of ERCON to review the progress of the work on the rail link. The tourism minister said that the consultancy project to prepare a detailed project report for the development of Agartala as an international railway station has already been awarded. In IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore defeated Rajasthan Royals by 7 runs at Bengaluru. Put into bat, Royal Challengers Bangalore posted 189 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. However, Rajasthan Royals failed to chase the 190-run target, scoring 182 for 6 in stipulated 20 overs. In the other fixture of the day in Kolkata, chasing a target of 236 runs set by Chennai Super Kings, Kolkata Knight Riders were 147 for 4 wickets in 15.4 overs when reports last came in. In archery, India finished the campaign at the World Cup Stage 1 at Turkey, Antalya today with 2 golds and a silver and bronze medals. The Indian men's recurve team comprising Tarundeep Rai, Atanu Das and Dheeraj Bomadevra finished with a silver medal after losing to China by the narrowest of margins of 4-5 in a shoot-off in the finals. Later in the men's individual recurve event, Dheeraj defeated Kazakhstan's Ilfat Abdullin 7-3 to grab a bronze medal. Now let us take a look at the major developments around the world as reported in the foreign press. The Wall Street Journal reports Russia evacuates thousands in border city it accidentally bombed. The Japan Times reports as war rages in Sudan, countries angle for advantage. The Financial Times reports at least 9 members of U.S. Congress sold bank stocks amid turmoil last month. The Guardian writes Chris Hipkins hails biggest in a generation citizenship reforms for New Zealanders in Australia. Le Monde writes Ursula von der Leyen discreetly considers second term as European Commission President. The Straits Times writes Twitter reinstates blue tick for some media celebrities. A quick look at the headlines once again. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to attend National Panchayati Raj Day celebrations at Rewa in Madhya Pradesh on Monday, to also lay foundation stone and dedicate to nation projects worth 17,000 crore rupees. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says strong sense of caution is required to protect hard-earned money from Ponzi apps. New Delhi says it is making all-out efforts to ensure safety and security of Indian nationals stranded in conflict-hit Sudan. Asia-Pacific Leaders Conclave on Malaria Elimination to be organized in New Delhi on Monday. In Russia, more than 3,000 people have been evacuated from their homes in the city of Belgorod after an undetonated explosive was found. And in archery, World Cup Stage 1, India in campaign with 2 golds and a silver and bronze medals at Turkey, Antalya. And now, before we end, let us listen to Mahatma Gandhi's favorite bhajan, Vaishnav Jan, by artists from Australia. The same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.